Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we will be discussing about the control structures in C++. So let us start with the topic. So first of all, what are control structures? So control structures are the instructions in program, or also they are also called as program statements that are used to control the flow of execution of a program. So generally, any C++ program consisting of set of instructions. Execution of any C++ program starts with the main function. So it is by default that the instructions are executed one after the other. That is, they are executed in sequence. But there are some situations or conditions upon execution of which the flow of execution of program may change. That means, if some of the instructions are executed, then depending upon the result of that condition, the next instruction may be executed or may not be executed. That means the flow of execution may not be sequential. So to handle these situations, the term control structures are used. So but the program flow control, what is the program flow control? It is the direction the program takes depending upon the situation, and hence it is the basic decision making process in computing. So basically there are three types of control structures. They are: first is sequence, second is selection, and third is the iteration. So out of these three, sequence is the default control structure. In every C++ program, sequence control structure is always present. Why? Because every instruction are executed in sequence. So first instruction that is executed will be the first instruction in the main function, and when the main function is executed, the program will be terminated. So by default, sequence control structure will be there always in any C++ program. But these three, that is sequence, selection and iteration, can be combined together to form a solution to any specific problem. So why we are writing C++ programs, or why any program is written? The program is written for finding solution to any problem. So if sequence is not sufficient to solve that problem, so sequence, selection and iteration, these three control structures can be combined to solve any kind of problem. So we will see these control structures one by one. So first, what is sequence? So sequence control structure is, it will define the order in which instructions occur in the program, and in the same order they are processed. So here, the execution of C++ program containing the sequence control structure, here instructions are executed one after the other. There is no change in the flow of control of the program. So second is selection. So what is selection? Selection will determine which path a program takes when it is running. So after the program compilation, execution will start from main function. So in case of selection, executions are executed one after the other, but at some instruction, some conditions are given upon which, or depending upon the result of that condition, the program may not execute sequentially. So that means selection is selecting the one instruction among the multiple instructions to be executed. So here, among the multiple instructions to be executed, selection of particular instruction is done based upon the result of condition checking. So condition checking means the result will be either true or false. So that is selection. Iteration is the third control structure. So iteration is the repeated execution of a section of a code when the program is running. So some of the instructions may be run or may be executed multiple times. So the control structure used for multiple execution of same instruction is the iteration control structure. So we will see these control structures one by one. So before that, this is the pictorial representation of how the instructions in program are executed if it contains sequence control structure, or it contains selection control structure, or it contains iteration control structure. Basically, sequence control structure is the default control structure. Why? For example, statement 1, 2 and 3, these are included in the main function. So for example, it is the start of main, and here the main function ends. So first statement in the main function is statement 1. So by default, the statements are executed one after the other, and after execution of third statement, program will come out of main function and the program will terminate. So sequence control structure define the sequence of instructions to be executed. So they are one after the other. Second is the selection. So what is done in the selection control structure? So in the selection control structure, particular condition will be checked. For example, this is the pictorial representation of selection control structure working. So this diamond will indicate the condition. For example, particular condition will be checked after execution of some of the instructions. Condition will be checked. If the result of that condition is true, then this much part will be executed and then program ends. If the condition is false, so this much part will be executed, then program will end. So in case of selection, not all the instructions in program are executed. Depending upon the result of that condition, whether it is true or false, the say statements are executed. So this is the working of selection. Next is the iteration. So what is done in the iteration? In case of iteration, particular counter will be used. So the counter value is initialized. So counter value will define how many times that particular statement will be executed. For example, here that counter will be initialized and then some condition is checked to terminate the execution of that instruction. Why? Because if the condition is not given to terminate that loop, also called as to terminate that iteration, the statement that is to be multiply executed, it will go in infinite loop. So what is the working of iteration? In case of iteration, counter, that is based upon the value of which number of times is decided, how many number of times that statement is executed. So here statement 1 is the statement in any program, for example. So counter will be initialized, then that counter will be incremented, decremented, and then condition is checked. If the last position is reached, means after that the counter is not incremented, decremented, they will go out of the iteration. But if the condition is satisfied, till that condition is true, the statement 1 will be executed multiple times. So this is the working of iteration. So the first control structure is sequence. So we have seen that sequence control structure is used when instructions in the program are executed one after the other. There is no change in the flow of program. So here one program is given where the sequence control structure is used. So first inclusion of header file, then main function, then this program is for temperature conversion. So here temperature in Fahrenheit will be the input value and program is converting that temperature into degree Celsius. So if you will see the aim of program for temperature conversion, there is no need to check any condition or there is no need to execute any instruction multiple times. So what is done in sequence? Instructions are only executed one after the other. So first instruction will be executed, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth instruction will be executed, and sixth instruction will be executed. After sixth instruction there is end of main. So program control will go out of main function and the execution will be completed. So if you will see the structure of program, so here no any condition is written or no any repetition is there. Instructions are executed one after the other. So first variable declaration. So temperature can be in fraction value also and it can be integer value also. That means we have taken the data type float, then enter temperature in Fahrenheit, cout, so message will be printed as it is, enter temperature in Fahrenheit, then end L, control will go on the new line and it will wait there to read a value from user. Why? Because cin statement is written to read a value. So until any value is entered by user, the program will not go on the next line. So for example, user has entered 200, so 200 will be saved in the variable f, and this value is used for calculating the value of C, that is temperature in Celsius. Then temperature in degree Celsius is, so this statement will be printed as it is with the help of cout and the computed value of C will be printed. So in this program the instructions are executed only in sequence, they are sequentially executed. So here the control structure that is used is sequence control structure, and the expected output of this program is this. Next is selection control structure. So basically selection control structure is, in this case, particular condition will be checked or some expressions are evaluated, and depending upon the result of those expressions, the instructions are chosen whether to execute those instructions or not. So basically in case of selection control structures, there are three types of statements. These are also called as conditional statements. Conditional statements means here some conditions are checked. So conditions can be in the form of equation, expression, or directly any value of variable. So based upon these values, expressions and equations, the statements in the program are selected to execute. So conditional statements are of three types. First is if statement, second is if else statement, and third is switch case statement. So first is the if statement. So the syntax for if statement is, here assume that main function is started here. This is the start of main, and for example this is end of main. So inside main function, for example, this condition is written and some instructions are there, or variable declaration and other instructions are there. So execution of every main function will start from first instruction. So these instructions will be executed in sequence. If you want to use the if statement in your program, the syntax is if in parenthesis, opening and closing parenthesis, the condition that you are checking, or it is also called as expression that you are checking, it will be included inside parenthesis, and whatever you are performing after execution of this condition, that will be included in block, here opening and closing curly bracket, then set of statements in that block. After completion of this if statement, other statements are there. So what is the syntax for if statement? If opening parenthesis, then condition, closing parenthesis, then body of if. Anything included in opening and curly brackets, that will be called as body of if statement. And then after the closing bracket, closing parenthesis, these statements 3 and 4 are not the part of if statement. So what is the working of this? If condition is checked, if the condition is checked, so if this condition is true, if this condition turns true, then statements 1 or 2 are executed. After that, statements 3 and 4 are executed. So assume that the condition is true. So if the condition is true, so which statements are executed? So if the condition is true, then control will come inside the if block. So the first statement in if block is statement 1 and second statement is statement 2. So first statement 1 will be executed, then statement 2 will be executed. After that, there is end of if statement indicated by this closing curly bracket. So control will come out of if. So for statements 3 and 4, no condition is satisfied. So for statements 3 and 4, no any condition is specified, so they are executed as it is in sequence only. So for after second statement, third will be executed and then 4. So sequence of statements will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if the condition is turning to true. Now if the condition becomes false, the condition that you are checking resulting in false, so what will be the output? For example, the condition is false. So if the condition is false, the if block will not be executed. So when the if block will be executed, it is executed only when the condition is true. So if it is false, this entire block will be skipped. That means statements 1 and 2 are not executed. Directly the control will come out of if, and directly statements 3 will be executed, and after that 4. So this is the result when the condition is false. So here you can see it is called as conditional statement. If statement is the conditional. Why? Because the execution of statements are depending upon some condition. So some condition is checked first, and if that condition is true, then and then only the statements are executed, otherwise they are skipped. So this is the conditional statement. And second is it is the type of selection. Why? Because we are selecting whether to execute statement 1 or 2 or not. So if the condition is true, then we will select to execute 1 and 2, otherwise we will directly go to statement 3 and 4. So if statement is the type of selection statement, and also it is the type of conditional statement. So using this syntax, here one example is given. For example, the condition is this: if it is the keyword, so it should be written like this. If you are writing like this, if, so it will give the syntax error and it will not be executed. If should be written in small case letters only. So if month equal to 1, so if you will see, this entire expression is nothing but the condition. So the operators that are used for checking conditions are called as relational operators, and they include less than, greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal, equal, and then not equal. So not equal, if I am writing A less than B, that means the condition is if A is less than B. Similarly, you can write if A is greater than B, that means you are checking whether A is greater than B. You can write if A is less than or equal to B. For example, A is greater than or equal to B. Next condition, if you want to check whether both are equal, so the equality condition is denoted by double equal. So A equal to B, that means you are checking if A and B both are equal. And if you want to check the inequality, so the operator is exclamation mark equal to B, that means if A is not equal to B. Okay, so out of these operators we have used double equal operator here. So month, assume that month is any variable in a program, and double equal means if the value of that variable month, if the value of that variable month is equal to 1. The meaning of condition is if the value in that variable month is equal to 1. So but before execution of this statement, some value should be there in month variable. So just for example, we have assigned value 2 to variable month. So one variable is declared of type integer. The value stored in the variable month is 2. So how the working of if statement will be here? The value of month is 2. Value of month is 2. So the value of month here 2 will be there. So condition is checked whether 2 equal to 2. Sorry, the condition is checked whether 2 double equal 1. Whether 2 equal to 1? No. So this condition is false. So if the condition is false, the entire block will be skipped. The control will go directly to the next statement. So next statement will be executed. Now value of month is same. It is 2. Now condition is checked whether 2 equal to 2. It is true. So if this condition is true, so control will go inside the if block. So entire block will be executed. Then control will come out of this block. So if month equal to 2, so it is true, so the cout statement will be executed and February will be printed. So similarly you can write if statements for 12 times. Month equal to 1, month equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 12. So if it is not, the value of month is not equal to any number between 1 to 12. If it is not equal to between 1 to 12, you can write particular statement is here to indicate that this is not a month, because months are only 1 to 12. So this is one of the example. Next statement is if else statement. So now we have seen the working of if statement. So what is done in if statement? So in case of if statement, we are just specifying only what is to be done when the condition is true. But when the condition is false, so what is to be executed we have not specified. By default, what is executed when the condition is false? These statements are always executed when the condition is false. So if you will see this program, so our month value was 2. So February will be printed. After this, if there are no any if statement here, so they will be skipped, because for values 3 to 12 the conditions will be false. But after execution of if month equal to 12, if month equal to 12, this will be false. Control will come to this statement, cout not a month. So but this statement is not contained in any if statement. That means it will be executed when the condition is false. It will always be executed when, or we can say that this statement will always be executed when the condition true or false, like this expression. In this case, if this condition is true, then these statements will be executed, but these statements are always executed whether the conditions are true or false. So in this case also, if any one of these condition is true, so these statements are executed when the condition is true, but when the condition is false, what is to be done, it is not mentioned, and the statements that are out of its statements are always executed. So here there may be contradictory output. If the month equal to 2, February will be executed, but along with that, not a month, this statement will also be executed. So to avoid this contradictory, you can include else statement, else, and include this statement inside else. So what is the use of else statement here? So else will define what is to be done when the condition is false. So if any one of the condition is true, this will be executed, so else statement will not be executed. And when any one of the condition is false, so if statements are totally excluded or they are not executed, only else statement will be executed. So next control statement is the if else, where we can specify both the things, what should be executed when the condition is true and what should be executed when the condition is false. So the syntax for if else statement is if condition, execute these statements, means if the condition is true, execute these statements, and if the condition is not true, means if it is false, execute these statements. So the entire structure is this, if else, but here either statements 1 and 2 are executed or 3 and 4 are executed. 1, 2, 3, 4 all are never executed, because either the condition will be true or false. So here if else statement will be help to specify both the things, what should be executed when the condition is true and what should be executed when the condition is false. And the statement 5 is not inside if, also it is not inside else, so statement 5 will always be executed. So using this syntax, the example is given here. For example, in the main function, one variable is declared num and the value assigned to it is 10. Then there is if statement num, this symbol will indicate the mod operator. So if num modulus 2, so the output of this operator percentage is remainder, means num, the value 10, num value is 10, it will be num mod 2, that means 10 will be divided by 2 and the remainder will be the value of this expression. For example, 7 mod 2, so remainder will be 1, so 7 mod 2 will be equal to 1. So this symbol, percentage symbol, will be used for mod operation, or if the result of this operator is remainder. So here num mod 2, so num value is 10, 10 mod 2, remainder is 0. So the condition is checked if 0 equal to 0. If 0 equal to 0, the condition is true. So the condition is true, that means the if block will be executed. The statement is printed, number is even. So if condition is true, this statement will be executed and else will be skipped. So this statement will not be executed, directly thank you will be printed. So the expected output of this program is number is even. And next, thank you. This is the statement. For example, the value of num assigned is, instead of 10, it is 7. Value of num is 7. So if statement will be executed first, 7 mod 2, 7 mod 2 will be 1, remainder will be 1. So 1 equal to 0. If the condition is checked, So result of this condition will be false. So if the condition is false, this block will be skipped. Directly control will go to else, and the statement will be printed, number is odd, and lastly thank you. So if statement is used for specifying the condition that when it is true what is to be executed, and if else is used for specifying two things, when the condition is true what is to be executed, and when the condition is false what is to be executed. So these two are the conditional statements and also called as the selection statements. Now third conditional statement is switch case statement. So we have seen that if statement is used for specifying single condition checking, if else is also used for specifying single condition checking, but two options are there, true and false. In if statement only true is specified, but if you want to check multiple conditions at a time, or using single statement you want to check multiple conditions, so in this case the switch case statement will be used. So it is used for multiple choice. Okay, so the syntax for switch case statement is switch then condition. So either that condition will be either true or false, same as like if and if else statement. So switch condition, so this is the start of switch, this is the end of switch, but instead of specifying just one statement or only one block of statement, multiple cases are given. So here switch, CAC case and default, these are the keywords. The syntax for this is switch will be same. If you are writing program using switch case, so syntax will be switch will be keyword, any condition will be specified in parenthesis, then start of switch, end of switch. So between this parenthesis, so between this opening and curly brackets, multiple cases are specified. So what is the meaning of this statement? Condition will be checked. So the result of this condition, for example it is any value, or result of this expression it is any value. So this value is compared with these values. For example, this value is equal to value 1. If it is true, then these statements will be executed. If it is false, then case 2 will be checked. So if the value is equal to value 2, then these statements will be executed. And if no any cases match, means all the cases are checked but result for every case is false, in that case default part will be executed. So whatever written in front of this colon, default then colon, all the statements are executed one by one. So this is the syntax and working of switch case statement. Now what is the use of this break statement? So switch, here this expression or condition will give only one value. So this value will be compared with each case. For example, value is equal to value 1. This is true. They are matched, whether value is equal to case 1, value is equal to value 1. If it is true, if this condition is true, so these statements will be executed. So if this condition is true, so it is not necessary to check all the conditions. There will be wastage of memory also and the computation time also. If one of the cases match and all the cases are different, that means if one of the cases match, others must not be match, or other will never match. So to avoid this unnecessary computation, so whenever any one of the cases match, so after completion of all the statements in that case there is break statement. So what is the use of break statement? After execution of this break statement, control will directly go out of switch. So anything that is written after break statement will be skipped. So here the use of break statement is just to come out of the block, not out of the program. So break statement is used to come only out of the block in which it is written. So in this case, break statement is written in switch block, in this block only. But program is not the end of program, it is the end of switch. So whenever any break statement is executed, So control will come only out of switch statement. So, and the use of break statement is for what? Whenever any case is matched. For example, case 1 is matched, so this statement will be executed, and unnecessarily other conditions or other cases are not checked, because it is obvious that they will not match with the value. So after execution of any statements in any case, break statement will be used to come out of the switch statement. So if you will see the syntax of this switch statement, it is checking only one condition. It is checking only one condition, or it is evaluating only one expression, but this is used for multiple conditions at a time. So here two cases are defined only, case 1, case 2. So instead of that, there may be 100 cases. So switch case statement is used for conditions checking multiple times. Multiple times means multiple conditions will be checked using a single statement. So the pictorial representation of switch case statement is this. So the syntax is: first switch conditional statement, condition will be checked. So the resultant value, result of that condition will be compared with first case. If the case 1 is matching, means if it is true, the statements in case 1 will be executed, and break means it will come after or out of the switch statement. If it is false, case 1 is not matching, so next case will be checked. If it is matching, then statements will be executed, then out of switch. If case 2 is not matching, then case 3 will be compared. So likewise, multiple cases can be specified, multiple conditions may be specified. So here n cases are there. Now last condition or last case will be checked. So if last case is matching, so statements will be executed, then control will come out of switch. But if last case is also not matching, in short, if any one of the case is not matching, means this condition is false, second also comes false, third also false, and last n case also false. So if any one of the case is not matching, in that case, whatever written in the default part, that will be executed by default, and control will come out of switch statement. So using this switch case statement, one of the example is given. For example, the program consisting of one variable n, and the value of n is 3. Assume that value of n is 3. Now here switch n. So it is expression, we can say that equation containing only variable name. So whatever value in n, that will come here. So here switch 3 means this value, the value of n, means 3 will be compared with each case. 3 will be compared with each case. So here n is equal to 3. N equal to 3. So here n is equal to 3. So first case will be this n value, whatever the value is there in this expression or condition, that means whatever written inside this parenthesis, that will be evaluated. So n value is 3. So this will be compared with first case. Whether 1 equal to 3, case 1 will be like this. Whether 1 equal to 3, this is false. This is not true. So this part, whatever written in the case 1 will be skipped. This will be skipped. Control will come to second case. Whether 2 equal to 3, no. So again, whatever written in the case 2, that will be skipped. Then 3 equal to 3. So 3 equal to 3, this will be true. So this case is matching. So what will be executed first? Cout means one statement will be printed. Choice is 3. So this will be the first statement that is printed. And break means after break statement, whatever is written, that will not be executed. Control will come directly out of switch statement. So there is one more statement after switch. Thank you. So the expected output of this program is choice is 3, first statement, and then if assume that end L is here, if there is end L, control will go to new line and the statement printed will be thank you. So this is the output of switch case statement. So in short, there are 3 conditional statements, also called as selection statements: if statement, if else statement, and switch case. So if statement is used to specify the statements that are to be executed only when the condition is true. If else is used for specifying the statements that are to be executed when the condition is true as well as when the condition is false. And switch case is also used for condition checking, but it is used for checking multiple conditions using a single statement, that is switch case statement. So we have seen the syntax for each conditional statement, if else and switch case, also their graphical representations and the examples. Next we will see the second control structure or the next control structure, that is iteration. So inside iteration, so first of all, iteration is used for what? It is used for in a program if we want to execute some instructions multiple times. So if multiple execution of some instructions is required, in that case iteration is used, and the iterations are also called as loops. Loops means executing same instruction multiple times, that is called as loop. So the statements or the control structures that are used for iteration are of three types again. First is while loop, second is do while loop, and next is the for loop. So the basic thing or the common thing in all three loops is that here you have to specify the counter. Counter means the counter will define how many times that statement will be executed or how many times that loop will be executed. So how many times is required? Why? Because the statement will be executed multiple times. So the counter will be used in each of the loop to define how many times that loop will be executed. So basically three statements will be there in every loop. First, initialization of that counter means what will be the starting value of that counter. Then condition checking means whether we have reached to the end of that loop or not. And then increment or decrement. Increment, decrement will define the change in that counter. For example, you are using one variable I as a counter, means it will define how many times that loop should be executed. For example, the sum statement, for example statement 1 is to be executed 5 times. Statement 1, this single statement should be executed 5 times. So 5 times we can say that the value of I will be, first time it will be equal to 1, second time it will be equal to 2, third time it will be equal to 3, fourth time it will be equal to 4, and last it will be equal to 5. So for counter value equal to 1, this will be executed first time. For counter value equal to 2, this will be executed second time. For counter value equal to 3, this will be executed third time. Statement 1, statement 1. So same statement is executing as the counter value is incrementing. So for counter value equal to 4, the statement 1 will be executed fourth time, and if counter value reach 5, same statement will be executed fifth time. After that, if it becomes 6, so we want the execution of this statement 1 only 5 times. So when the counter value becomes 6, so at that point the loop will be terminated. So loop will be terminated means the execution of this statement 1 will be stopped. So here what are required in any case of loop, whether it is while, do while or for? First of all, counter value will be required. Let's that counter is I. You can use any variable name. So initialization of that counter. Initialization means what will be the starting value. As we have seen the example, counting, the statement is executing 5 times and we have taken the counter values as 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. 5 times statement 1 is executed, so we have initialized I to 1. Starting value of I is 1, so initialization is required. Next, some condition should be there to stop that loop. So why? Because if we are not specifying that condition, so loop will be executed infinite times. So here we are executing statement 1 only 5 times. So condition may be like this: I less than or equal to 5. This will be the condition to stop that loop. Whenever I will become 6 or whenever I will become more than 5, at that point the loop will be terminated or the statement execution will be stopped. So first thing required will be initialization of counter. Second thing, condition to stop that loop. And third thing, either increment or decrement of that counter or some condition or some modification in that counter. So if you will see the value of counter, it is started at 1 and it reached to 5, and the change in each value is of 1. Difference in each value is of 1. So what we are doing, we are moving from 1 to 5 by incrementing that I by 1 each time. So here either the value of counter should be incremented or decremented, or either the value of that counter should be modified. So here we can say increment or decrement. So in this case the value is incremented. So incrementation can be like that, I equal to I plus 1. The meaning is previous value of I plus 1, that will be the new value of I. Okay, so initially I was 1, so 1 plus 1 2, then 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5. When 5 plus 1 becomes 6, so at that point the condition will become false and loop will be terminated. So in any kind of loop, 3 things are required. First is initialization of counter, second is condition checking forward for terminating that loop at some point, and third thing required will be modification of that counter in either increment or decrement. So we will see these loops one by one. So first is the while loop. So while loop. So see here, in every loop 3 things are mentioned. So what is while loop? While means while some condition is true, execute that thing. Whenever that condition becomes false, stop to execute that thing. This is the meaning of while loop. So the syntax for while loop is, while is a keyword, you should write this while as it is. If you are writing like this, capital W or uppercase while, so that will give a syntax error. So while is a keyword, that should be written as it is. So syntax for while loop is, while in parenthesis we are checking condition as like if else and switch case. So condition should be included in parenthesis. So while condition means while this condition is true, execute this block, and when this condition becomes false, come out of the while loop. Like this, the execution of while loop is while condition. Body of loop means statements inside that while loop, statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. This can be either cout, cin, addition, subtraction, any statement. And after this, the modification of counter, either increment or decrement. So we have seen 3 things are important in any kind of loop: initialization, condition checking, increment and decrement. So the structure of while loop is such that while, condition and body of loop, this is common. So initialization is done before while, condition is checked in front of the while loop inside parenthesis, and increment and decrement is done inside the while loop. So the working of this while loop is, first initialization will be done. For example, here one variable is taken I is acting as a counter. Counter means it is defining how many times that loop will be executed. So initialization means starting value assigned to that I. So here starting value assigned is 1. Condition checking. So condition will define where to stop. So the condition is I less than or equal to 5. So until I becomes greater than 5, this loop will be executed multiple times. So I equal to 1, condition will be checked. So whether 1 less than equal to 5, because I is 1, so 1 less than equal to 5, yes, it is true. So first statement will be executed. Cout I, so no double quotation is there, so value of I will be printed as it is. So value of I is 1 will be printed. Then end L, control will be on new line for the next statement. Then I plus plus is equivalent to I equal to I plus 1. I equal to I plus 1 and I plus plus both are same. So initial value of I plus 1, that will be new value of I. So initial value of I was 1. So 1 plus 1 will be 2. 1 plus 1 will be 2, and new value of I will become 2 now. So new value of I will become 2. So this is the new value of I now. So after this I plus plus, control will not directly go out of loop. Why? Because whenever this condition is true, this part will be repeated. This part will be executed multiple times. When this condition will become false, after that only control will come out of loop. So here I was 1, 1 less than 5 true, 1 less than 5 true, so 1 will be printed, I plus plus, so I will become 2. Again the condition will be checked whether 2 less than equal to 5, again it is true, so this statement will be printed, 2 will be printed. Then I plus plus value will become 3. Then 3 less than or equal to 5, again it is true, so 3 will be printed on new line. I plus plus value will become 4 now. Then 4 less than or equal to 5, this will be checked, it is true, then 4 will be printed. Then I plus plus value will become 5. Then 5 less than 5, yes, less than or equal to 5, yes, so 5 will be printed. Then I plus plus, so now value will become 6, and if this condition is checked, 6 less than or equal to 5, so this condition is false. So whenever this condition will become false, so this part will be skipped, control will come out of loop, and whatever written is here, that will be executed. So output of this loop will be 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the use of while statement. While is used for executing the statements multiple times, and initialization is done before while statement, condition is checked after while statement, and inside the body of loop counter will be changed, either it is incremented or decremented. So the graphical representation is this. While here initialization will be there, then test initialization, condition will be checked, if the condition is true, execute the body of loop, go to condition again, if true, execute the body of loop again, if the condition is false, then do not execute this body, directly come out of the loop, means loop will be terminated. So this is the working of while loop. Second is do while loop. So the name is that. Why? Because do means first do the task, then check the condition. The working of while, in case of while, what we are doing? In case of while, first the condition is checked, then we are doing the things inside the loop. So first the condition is checked, then do the task. But in case of do while, what is in do while? First do the task, then check the condition. This is the working of do while. So see here, as similar to while loop, initialization will be done, then do means first do this task, first perform this thing, then check the condition. So in case of while loop, condition is checked at the start, and in case of do while, condition is checked at the end. So that's why while loop is also called as pre-test loop. Pre-test means first test the condition, then do the task. And do while is called as post-test loop. Post-test because first do the task, then post means after that check the condition. So while loop is nothing but the pre-test loop, and do while is the post-test loop. So see the working of do while loop here. So what is done? First initialization before the loop, then do this task, means whatever written in the do block, execute the statements, and then check the condition. So here increment and decrement is again inside the do block. So example is given, one counter variable is taken I, so initialized value of I is 1, I is initially equal to 1, then do means perform this task. So what is written? Cout I, value of I will be printed 1, then I plus plus value will become 2, so I will become 2, so 2 less than equal to 5, it is true. So again go to do statement, so cout I, so 2 will be printed, then I plus plus, so value will become 3, 3 less than or equal to 5, yes, so again do the task, so cout I, 3 will be printed, then I plus plus value will become 4, 4 less than equal to 5, 4 less than equal to 5, true. So again do the task. So 4 will be printed. Now four will be printed, then 4 plus plus, that will become 5. 5 less than equal to 5, condition is true again. So again do the task. Then cout I, print 5, then I plus plus value will become 6. Now if you will check the condition 6 less than or equal to 5, it is false. It is false. Now whenever it is false, do block will not be executed. Control will come out of loop. So here the output is same, 1 2 3 4 5 as like while loop, but the working is different. And one more thing is there, in case of while loop, after the statement while, semicolon is not written in case of while loop, and in case of do while loop, after the while statement semicolon is written. So in short, while loop is the pre-test loop, do while is the post-test loop, and initialization, condition, increment, decrement, 3 concepts are there in every loop, also in while and do while, as we have seen. And this is the pictorial representation again. So what is the working of do while? First do the task inside the loop, then test the condition. If it is true, again do the task. If it is true, again do the task. When the condition will become false, then loop is terminated. So this is the working of do while loop. Now next is the for loop. So in case of for loop, again 3 things will be there: initialization, condition, and increment or decrement of counter variable. But in case of while and do while loop, all 3 things are mentioned at different places in a program. So you can see in while loop, initialization is the statement, condition is included in another statement, and increment decrement is included in next statement. So all 3 are mentioned at different positions in the program. Similarly, in case of do while loop, initialization, condition, increment, decrement are specified at different positions in the program. But in case of for loop, all things are included in a single statement or on one line. So initialization, condition, increment or decrement, so they are included here. So first keyword for will be used. In parenthesis, 3 things will be included separated by semicolon. So the first thing included will be initialization of counter variable, then semicolon, second will be condition checking, then semicolon, and next will be increment decrement. And after for there is no semicolon, so directly body of loop. So working of this loop is like this. First initialize the counter, then check the condition. First counter will be initialized, then condition will be checked. If the condition is true, then execute the body of loop. Then after execution of this body of loop, go to increment decrement. Fourth part will be increment decrement. So after increment decrement, again the condition is checked. For example, 5th point. So again the condition is checked. Again if it is true, execute the body of loop. Again increment decrement. So initialization part is executed only once. Initialization is done only once. But these 3 things, condition checking, increment decrement, and body of loop, these are repeated. These are repeated multiple times till this condition is true. So in short, first initialize the counter, then check the condition. If the condition is true, then execute the loop and then increment. After increment, again check the condition, execute the loop, then increment. So this will be repeated till this condition is true. So one example is given. So here int I equal to 1 semicolon, it is written. But if you will see the syntax of this while loop, if you will see the syntax of this for loop, initialization is done in the loop itself and at the same statement after the for statement. So this statement is not mandatory. Only mandatory thing will be declaration of that variable. int I semicolon. So working will be like this. Assume that here only I if declared, value is initialized in the for loop itself. So for I equal to 1, first statement executed will be initialization, second condition will be checked. So whether 1 less than equal to 5 means I less than equal to 5, so value of I is 1, 1 less than equal to 5, it is true. So if it is true, execute the body of loop. So I will be printed. End L control will come here. Then next thing executed will be I++. So I was initially 1, so I++ it will become 2. Check the condition. 2 less than equal to 5, true. So if it is true, again execute cout statement. So 2 will be printed. Then I++ again. So I will become 3. 3 less than equal to 5, yes. So 3 will be printed. Next I will become 4. So I++ I will become 4. 4 less than equal to 5, true. So then 4 will be printed. So I++ I will become 5. 5 less than equal to 5, it is true. 5 will be printed. Now I++, so I will become 6. I will become 6. But if you will check the condition, 6 less than equal to 5, so it will become false. So whenever the condition will become false, body of loop will be skipped, control will come direct out of loop. So again the output of this program using for loop is same, 1 2 3 4 5. So we have seen 3 different forms of loops for getting the same output. One number will be printed and that will be incremented each time, and 5 times that number is printed. So initial value of that number is 1, end value is 5, and the difference is 1. Difference between two values is 1. So 5 times same statement is executed. Cout I and L, same statement is executed 5 times, but using 3 different loops, while, do while and for. So we have seen the working of this for loop. Now this is the graphical representation of for loop. So first is initialization. So here this part will be initialization, test expression, condition will be checked. So after checking the condition, we are going to body of loop, third part. So here loop will be body loop, body of loop will be executed, and after this increment decrement. So update expression means either it will be incremented, decrement, or any other change. So here update expression, if it is true, so if it is true, if the update, after updating expression, then again condition is checked. So if it is true, then again the body of loop will be executed. If the condition is false, then only the control will come out of loop. So here we have seen 3 different loops for getting the same output, means to execute multiple statements. So here three different loops we have seen to execute a single statement multiple times, that is cout, I and L. Now we have written this statement only once, but this is executing 5 times, printing the output 1 2 3, then 4 and 5. 1 2 3 4 5, we are getting the same output using 3 loops. So in short, we have seen the difference between while and do while. So while is the pre-test loop in which the condition is checked at the start, then the body of loop is executed. Do while is the post-test loop where the condition is checked at last. First the body of loop is executed, then condition is checked at last, and third is the for loop. So the difference between while and do while is we have seen, but what is the difference between while, do while and for loop? So here the thing is that in case of while and do while loop, in advance we are not having the knowledge of how many times that statement will be executed. So in this example we have written I less than equal to 5. That means by seeing this code you can say this will be executed 5 times, but always it is not mandatory that the condition will be like this, I less than equal to 5. In place of this condition there may be any expression, any value of variable, anything. So in while do while, in advance it is not known how many times that loop will be executed. Until that condition will become false, the loop will be executed multiple times. But in case of for loop, in advance it is known how many times that loop will be executed. So in a single instruction we are writing all: initialization, condition checking, increment and decrement. So this is all about the loops. So in this video we have seen about the control structures in C++. So first was sequence, in which the statements are executed one after the other. Second was selection, in which statements are executed one after the other, but if there are multiple statements or choice between multiple statements, so we are checking some condition, and upon result of that condition, either true or false, we are selecting the statements of the program to be executed. So they are also called as selection statement or conditional statement. So conditional statements, we have seen three conditional statements: if else and switch case. So if statement is used for specifying the execution of statements only when the condition is true. If else is used for specifying the execution of statements when the condition is true or when the condition is false. Switch case statement is used for checking multiple conditions using a single statement. So this was about the selection statement or the conditional statement. Next control structures we have seen that are iteration type. Iteration means repetition. So they are also called as loops. So we have seen three types of loops: while loop, do while loop and for loop, and the difference among these three loops. So while, do while, in those two loops we are already knowing how many times. So in those two loops we are not having the knowledge of how many times that loop will be executed. So in case of for loop we are having the knowledge. That's why all things we are specified on a single line: initialization, off counter, condition checking for terminating that loop, and incrementing and decrementing for changing the value of that counter. And also the next difference between while and do while is called as the pre-test loop and do while is called as the post-test loop. So I hope you have understood about the control structures in C++. So in the next video we will see demonstration of C++ programs using all these control structures in C++. Thank you.